about what felt like that game change with the 4-minute scoreless stretch from you guys in the fourth quarter. I think it was tied after Christian hit a three, and then Boston was up 15 by the time you guys scored again. So what did you see offensively during that stretch?
We didn't score. I mean, it was a 15-0 run. So it's tied at 93. Give our guys a ton of credit, first and foremost. Down 15 in the first quarter, and with 8 minutes to go in the game, it's tied at 93. And the margin of error against that team without your starting four and your starting five is non-existent. And right after that, Porzingis got a tip dunk, loose ball they come up with, corner three. And obviously their defense ratcheted up, and we were unable to score on the other end. And that was that 15-0 run that they went on was obviously the deciding run of the game. But we gave ourselves a chance, and could not be more proud. There are no moral victories, but we did a lot of good things tonight. And but 25 points off turnovers and 22 on the glass is just way too many if you're going to give yourselves a chance against them.
Peyton Watson, you ran him a long time, especially first half. He gave you guys a lot of great defense. What did you see from him tonight?
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, just whether it's on their smalls, on their bigs, 4 blocks. And what I loved about it, we showed a clip at halftime, was just the multiple effort. You know, he ran off a guy, he got back in the play, ran him off again. He had a rear view pursuit on Jaylen Brown to get a block. So that's what I love to see from Peyton. The second, the third, the fourth effort. You know, and he played what Julian's offense off the bench was fantastic. But again, you know, just unable to get it done. And we have the Clippers coming in tomorrow night. And obviously we played our guys a bunch of minutes tonight, so we'll have to dig deep tomorrow if we're going to try to even up the series against them.
How much was Joker's absence felt for y'all?
I mean, a lot. I don't understand the question. I mean, he's a 3-time MVP, a Finals MVP, and we don't have the best player in the world playing. Obviously, we're a different team, you know. But that doesn't mean you don't fight. That doesn't mean you don't compete. And our guys did that tonight, and that's all that I care about is that we walk out of here, you know, disappointed in the outcome, but not in the effort, and I can live with that.
Michael, that team averages 53s a game. What was it like to try and limit their attempts? They only got to 35, but what was the tax on that? Like, what were you not able to take away because of the emphasis on defending the three?
Well, obviously, if you take away the three, they're going to get into the paint. They had 60 in our paint. In that third quarter, I think they had 20 of their 31 in the paint. And we knew at halftime, Jaylen Brown, I think, didn't have a field goal in the first half. He was going to be ultra aggressive, and he was. And then when he went out, Tatum was ultra aggressive. So you take away the three, you give up the paint. You know, but in my estimation, making that team try to beat you with twos is probably the winning, you know, formula. And to hold that team to 35 attempts speaks to our guys' game plan, discipline, belief, and just the multiple effort that I mentioned earlier, because they get them in so many ways and they have shooting everywhere. So I give our players a ton of credit for the effort they put forth. Even though it was in a losing effort, we did a lot of really good things that we can build on.
You talk about defense, give up 118, but as you said, 25 off of your turnovers. Will you be able to look back and say, hey, you know what, there was pretty good moments of defense, even though you give up 118 just because of those turnovers?
Yeah, and the 22 on the glass. I mean, we went to a zone in the third quarter because we couldn't guard him one-on-one. I mean, Jaylen Brown was just a bull in a china shop, getting to the rim time and time again. So we go zone, we force a miss, and they get an offensive rebound. And obviously, as we all know, you know, your defense isn't finished until you secure that defensive rebound. And so I think if we look at both those areas, Scott, the turnovers, the points allowed off our turnovers, and then the additional 22 on the glass, our guys were flying around. They were doing a really good job, but we just beat ourselves too often tonight. And against the defending champs, as you know, it's hard to overcome that.
I know there's a lot of pressure on Jamal specifically, just being a primary initiator. He took a ton of tough shots tonight, made a lot of shots. Is there any way for him to kind of alleviate that pressure, make some of the shots a little bit easier on himself, or is it just a product of Boston's defense?
No, I think it's the product of the attention that he gets every night. Because I would agree, it seems like, you know, Jamal has to work so hard sometimes. So we can do a better job of freeing him up, screening better, giving him separation. He can, obviously help himself by trying to create more separation. But when you have a guy like Jaylen Brown, like grabbing, holding, wrapped all over you, it's really hard to get some of the looks. And it's something that we'll look at because when you have your starting 4 and 5 out, we need Jamal. And obviously he battled tonight. He gave us everything he had, as did everybody else. And I can definitely try to help him more as well.
One more. All right, thank you, Coach.
Thanks, everybody.
Jamal
See you tomorrow.
and Julian